So sometimes they will only ask the data types along with an example, and sometimes they can also ask the sizes of these data types. So you should be ready for both the things. Java is portable because, as we know, Java requires a JVM machine, and whenever we use JVM machine, then our information will be converted to the bytecode. Window is nothing but a complete top level container without any borders or the menu boxes. Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the second session of revision, that's for object-oriented programming with Java subject. Yes, exactly, this is a second semester subject, and in our previous session we have already discussed various questions, that's various important questions with respect to your exam point of view, where you can expect those questions even for 2 marks, 4 marks, as well as 6 or 8 marks too. But in this session, we will discuss completely the 2 marks questions, which we can say that a complete part in your question paper will be of 2 marks, correct? So in today's session, we will be discussing those questions with answers. So let me introduce myself. Over here, my name is Deepa Kutnikar. I'm working as an assistant professor under Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Let's get started with our today's session with our first question. Yes, exactly, this question will be asked for 2 marks, and the question is, describe the advantages of OOP over POP. So yes, OOP, as we know, it is completely dependent on classes and objects, and the Java language is dependent on the OOP concept, right? So let's see the different advantages. Starting with, it promotes the code reusability using one of its basic principles, which is none other than inheritance. Then it supports modularity, and the maintenance of Java is very easy, or we can say that any of the application which is built on Java programming language is easier. Then the most important thing, it provides the security through the data encapsulation, which is also a basic principle of a OP concept. Later, flexibility, yes, in order to provide the application like one application many forms, so that is been provided with the principle of polymorphism. So these are the basic advantages of a OOP. Next, let's understand the various Java data types along with its sizes. All right. The answer for that is, we know that a simple byte, in the sense it will hold 1 byte of data, which is nothing but 1 byte in the sense 8 bits. All right. The next is a short type, which includes 2 bytes of information, in the sense it will hold 16 bits of information. Next, integer. Integer can hold the information or the data up to 4 bytes, followed by long, which holds 8 bytes of data. Then float. Float, in the sense, as we know, for decimal values, we will go with the float data type, correct? And its size will be of 4 bytes. It can be up to 4 bytes. Next one, double. Double, in the sense, again, it will go with 8 bytes of information. Then the character. Here we can store 2 bytes of information. We have Boolean data type 2, which is dependent on JVM, but in glance we can say that it can hold a bit of information. So these are the various data types as well as sizes. So sometimes they will only ask the data types along with an example, and sometimes they can also ask the sizes of these data types. So you should be ready for both the things. Next, over here we have one very good question which can be twisted, tweaked and asked. So let's see that question. The third question is to explain how Java ensures the portability. Java is portable because, as we know, Java requires a JVM machine, and whenever we use JVM machine, then our information will be converted to the bytecode, which runs on a system with the principle of write once and run anywhere. So because of this, we can say that Java programming language is one of the best portable programming language. The next thing, what is a Java token? Mention them. So this Java token we have also discussed in our previous session. That's for 8 marks too. So you can go back and check there too. But with respect to 2 marks, let's see what is a Java token. Token is a smallest unit in the Java program, and the types includes keywords, identifiers, separators, literals, operators, etc. So for this, you can write in this way, or you can also represent it in a pictorial format too. Okay, so that will be sufficient for 2 marks. Next, let's see what is the difference between a simple method as well as a constructor. Whenever we initialize a method, then the main thing that comes is a method will always has a return type, and it is used to perform various operations. But with respect to constructor, there is no return type, and it is used to initialize the objects. Also, we can say that there can be object with same name as that of a class. Yes, even that is a valid one when we go with a constructor. The next question, yes, this is a very simple question, and you might have seen or heard this question through your external examiner as well in your labs. What is an array of objects? Explain. Array of objects means that arrays that stores the object references. For example, here we can note that student S of, right? So this is been assigned with new student with the index value of 3. So in this way, the object references will be stored, and that is called as array of object. Great. The next question, difference between string and string buffer. The main difference that we can say when we hear string and string buffer is strings are none other than a group of characters, correct? So these group of characters are immutable. Once it is defined, it cannot be changed. Again, we have to define a new string. But with respect to string buffer, that's not the case. Once you define it, if you want to change it, manipulate it, yes, you can do that. That's why it is called as mutable, in the sense we can modify the content of a string buffer. So this is a basic difference between string and string buffer. So we can also extend the number of difference between string and string buffers. Great. The next question, define the importance of this keyword. Yes, this keyword is very important thing. Let's see and understand why it is important. This, as the name itself says, it will be referring to the current object, and it can be used to differentiate between the instance variables from the parameters. So this is the importance of this keyword. Next question, what is an interface? And they can also ask to write a syntax as well. So interface, it's just a collection of various abstract methods, and the syntax, we know that it will start with interface, correct? So let's write interface followed by a name, that is demo. Up next, we are writing a method, that is void display of. So this is a simple example, or we can also write or include the syntax for this too. Next question is to mention the difference between the binary file as well as a text file. Yes, absolutely. This is very simple and easy question. The text information, or it stores the data in the human readable form, which is nothing but in a characters form. Then the binary file, it stores the information in a zeros or ones format, but not in human readable format, correct? So that's the main difference between a simple text file as well as a binary file. The next question, write the difference between a window as well as a frame. So this is completely related to the AWT, as I have already repeated. AWT is one of a application level thing, so which we have studied in unit 4. So the unit is very easy, simple. It will always revolve with window, frame, then the text field, binary field, text block, and everything. It is very easy to learn as well. So don't miss that unit. Go back and check the videos of unit 4 as well as all the 4 units too. Great. Let's see what is a window. Window is nothing but a complete top level container without any borders or the menu boxes. But this frame holds the title bars, the borders, as well as the menu blocks, etc. So that's the main difference between a simple window as well as a frame. All right, let's head with the next question. What is layout manager? So now, as we have already understood AWT, that is abstract window toolkit, which is used to design the applications or the windows or the web pages, correct? That's by using Java programming language. Now we can say that we have many things to manage. That is, we have to manage the text block, menu block, then the window, frame buttons, etc. Correct? So with respect to these things, in order to manage all these things, there should be a manager, correct? So that manager we call as a layout manager. So let's see exactly like what's the definition of a layout manager. It is nothing but a class that controls the arrangement of various components inside a container. For example, the flow layout, border layout, then the boxes, check boxes, as well as text boxes, etc. are all managed. And for the placement of all these things, there are separate rules which are headed by our layout manager. So this is very, very important and a most easiest thing. So these are the most of 2 marks important question that we have revised with respect to an exam point of view. Alright students, I would like to wish all the very best for your object-oriented programming with Java subject as well as for all the other subjects. All the very best. Please work hard, study well. Please study in a proper way. Don't just mug or by heart the things. Understand the flow, how to study, what are the questions, and then start studying. If you read the question, you will be understanding, okay, this is a programming question, and for this I have to initially write some theory, then a syntax, then if a flow chart if possible, then finally a good example. Whatever the concept it might be, always go with a syntax example. Okay, so all right, and let me add one more thing. So wherever a pictorial representation can be shown, please write that because it will earn more marks for you. Great, all the very best, and yes, thank you so much.